Welcome to Stoner Watch. Today we're talking about Pixar's Turning Red. If you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button and click on that bell so you can notify for future videos. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And yes, after watching Pixar's Turning Red over on Disney Plus, I gotta say, it was pretty good. Now, I'm not gonna say it's the best Pixar movie I've ever seen, but it's not the worst one I've seen out of the 25 movies we've gotten over the last 27 years from Pixar. This one being the 25th movie from Pixar. I mean, there were a lot of funny moments in this movie. There are a lot of pull at your heartstring moments in this movie, because that's what Pixar's really gotten famous for over the last few years, especially with movies like Inside Out and Up. You know what I mean? This movie falls right in along them same lines. I mean, it was pretty damn fun to watch, I have to say. But since it went to Disney Plus, I was awfully happy to find out that it wasn't one of them $30 premium access type things on Disney Plus. Because if it would have been that case, I'd have waited. I mean, I'm sorry, this movie was good, but it wasn't worth $30. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'd have paid the money to go see it in the theater if it actually would have got a theatrical release, because, you know, if you wanted to see the new movies, that's what you got to do. But they decided to put this one on Disney Plus, and thankfully they didn't use the $30 premium access to do that with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because again, if it was that the case, I'd have waited. Turning Red is a 2022 American computer animated coming of age fantasy comedy film produced by Pixar Animation Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. Directed by Domee Shi in her feature directorial debut from the screenplay written by herself and Julia Cho. It is the first Pixar film to be solely directed by a woman, the first one to take place in Canada, and the second one to feature an Asian lead character after Up. Set in Toronto, the film centers on Meilin, a 13-year-old Chinese-Canadian student who is horrified to discover that whenever she gets too excited or stressed, she turns into a giant red panda. However, she can turn back if she becomes calm. Mi later learns from her mother Ming that her ancestors have shared this history with the species as a family curse, though the curse can be contained by performing a special ritual on a specific night, which happens to coincide with a concert of her favorite boy band, Four Town. Inspired by Xi's experiences in Toronto, the film began development in 2018 after she pitched it to Pixar in October 2017. Special screening took place in London at the Everyman Borough Yards on February 21st of 2022. Turning Red had its world premiere on March 1st of 2022 and was released on Disney Plus in the countries where the service was available on March 11th of 2022, along with a simultaneous limited run at the El Capitan Theater, and was released theatrically in the countries without the streaming service. Originally intended to be released in the theaters worldwide, but further disruption from the COVID-19 pandemic and the rapid spread of the Omicron variant resulted in the change being made. The film received critic acclaim with praise for its story, humor, animation, and the use of culture. Starring in this movie, Rosalie Chang, Sandra Oh, Ava Morris, Mater Irama Christian, Hai Ein Park, Orion Lee, Wai Chang Ho, and James Hong, just to name a few. Now, currently, Turning Red is sitting with a Rotten Tomato score of 95%, with 180 top critics so far chiming in. Now, over the audience side, we're sitting with a score of 65%, with a little over 1,000 people putting in their opinions. Now, it looks like the critics like this movie a lot more so than the fans do as of right now, but this is only like the first week, so maybe with some good word of mouth, some people actually go by and see this again. But with a budget of $175 million and no actual theatrical release, it's really hard to say how well this thing would have done at the box office. I mean, again, I would have gone seen it at the theater and at least paid matinee for it, 15 or 2, but I would have paid at least matinee to see this movie, but I didn't get that choice. It went strictly over to Disney Plus. Now, I'm kind of hoping that Bob Chapek does not do the same thing with Lightyear, which comes out later on in this year. I'm looking really forward to that movie, and I want to see that thing on the big screen. So, and this movie was pretty good. The story was pretty good, and I thought all the characters interacted pretty well. Even though I don't like boy bands, never have, never will. This movie reminded me of when my girls were younger and they were into NSYNC and Backdoor Boys and everything. If you're into that type of music, more power to you, because I can never get into it. But the story in this movie was funny, and I loved it for the most part. And I'm not really sure where I would rank this movie with the other 24 Pixar movies that we've gotten over the years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's going to take at least another second viewing. I'm not going to go do it like right away. But with a second viewing, maybe my opinion will change. Right now, I'm not really sure where this would rank out of the other 24. You know what I mean? So did you see Pixar's Turning Red over on Disney Plus? Let me know in the comments down below. Where does this movie rank with you with all the other Pixar movies that we've gotten over the years? Let me know in the comments down below. I mean, it was a fun movie, and if you already have Disney Plus, you're not out of anything except for like an hour and a half of your time. So let me know what you think in the comments down below.